After what seemed like a concluded adventure, Lao Jin unexpectedly received a "you won't believe this" message. Someone brave claimed to have seen a snake spirit. This brave soul was sharpshooting that day, but got entangled with the snake, bleeding and crying for Lao Jin. Someone had to take responsibility, so Lao Jin uneasily returned to the tomb, feeling uncomfortable in this cursed spot, and began his safety rise. After a lot of digging, Lao Jin finally unearthed the flower snake corpse, only to horrify himself by discovering a human face on its tongue. Lao Jin's spine felt icy. He discovered there was still something hidden in the wooden pit. Maybe I'll find treasure when I dig down, he thought. The nearby foxes suddenly got restless, and when he uncovered the surface dirt, he discovered an even more mysterious coffin, sparking excitement in Rung General. This was no ordinary double burial. The coffin was buried in a tree burial style and tightly chained. Was this a way to keep nosy people out? Lao Jin thought. Clearly, this thing belongs to the old Tao family. But after the last event, everyone decided to stay out of it. But the high-priced burial thieves forced their hands. They decided to haul the coffin to the nearby temple, and as soon as it was unearthed, the surrounding foxes went totally. The 3-meter-long coffin left the four deep in thought. Even the lone monk nearby muttered, "Well, this is quite a pickle." They worked together to stash the coffin in the warehouse, sprinkling safety rice and fragrant mochi around for good measure, when Aunt Pooh rushed to the scene to join in. Aunt tried to keep it under wraps, but Lao Jin called her bluff, mentioning her previous discoveries of the ancestral tomb about her father's mysterious business. Supposedly, the monk who buried her was meant to teach her a lesson, but he dropped her in this cursed spot instead. As the biggest pro-Japanese ghosts, father had stayed loyal to them forever. The group decided to wait until dawn to cremate the coffin, while during dinner, Hyoling looked so worried that it was hard not to chuckle. After contacting her sister, she confirmed that the Japanese Feng Shui master she had seen earlier was definitely the same one the master had mentioned at Fox Demon Village. Then, Hyoling recited Thousand-Year Grandmother, and instantly, a pale face appeared in the mirror. Tragic. In another room, Feng Jai, asleep, suddenly felt uneasy. Opening her eyes, she saw the monk staring at her, muttering a bizarre spell. Unable to move, Feng Jai realized she had encountered the sleep paralysis ghost. Desperately drawing a ghost symbol with her fingers, miraculously, the man vanished. To understand what was going on, Feng Jai ventured outside to look for the monk and heard strange sounds coming from a distant barn, and when she got closer, she was completely. There lay some shredded pork on the ground, and looking up, she saw the farmhand being pulled by something in the air. While the monk's face was totally unrecognizable, he was finished. Feng Jai rushed to find Hyoling, but as she exited the car, a hand grabbed her, seemingly warning her to protect herself. Reaching the warehouse, they were horrified to find the coffin damaged. The seal failed, letting the contents burst through the roof. Realizing the gravity, Feng Jai urgently called for Lao Jin. Hyoling cautiously reached into the coffin and touched a creepy Japanese warrior helmet. Before she could react, a giant in traditional Japanese armor walked in without a care and stopped at the doorway. Talk about cutting to the chase. Thankfully, Hyoling had trained in Japan and spoke fluent Japanese, barely managing to stall the giant. When the monster asked if she had prepared silverfish and melon for him, Hyoling could only say she would arrange it soon. Just as she finished, the monster gracefully exited. Just when she could catch her breath, the monster had already jumped on the roof and saw through Hyoling's human disguise, forcing her to flee outside the warehouse. Seeing the 3-meter-tall giant, Feng Jai felt scared, yet still warned Hyoling to run. However, the monster simply cradled Feng Ji's face. To everyone's shock, the monster's fingers went straight for Feng Ji's waist, knocking her out cold, yet it still slowly approached Hyoling. Upon seeing the Buddha statue behind Hyoling, the monster clasped its hands and began to chant, and astonishingly, its body started to self-ignite. As the flames intensified, the monster slowly ascended, leaving Lao Jin and the others dumbfounded. It was nothing short of a magic show. The monster transformed into a fireball, swirling above everyone's heads for a few rounds before zooming towards the ceiling. Luckily, Feng Jai had sent her clothes in time to save her. Seeing a peninsula photo in the hospital hallway, Lao Jin recalled all Pyro's dying words. The fox cuts the tiger's path. Skimming through Tomb Raider notes, he found a photo titled Iron Blood Tomb Raiders. Intriguing. A realization hit Lao Jin, and armed with his gear, he set out alone up the mountain, only to soon realize something felt off. Buried in the wooden pit was the same monster from last night, validating Lao Jin's suspicion. Old Pyro's words fox cuts the tiger actually made some sense. The old Pyro family tomb was at the tiger's waist, and Fox Demon Village buried iron bricks in a pit. This was all to halt the chaos in all of Korea. The people in the photo were not Tomb Raiders, but a bunch of brave souls dedicated to removing the iron bricks. Lao Jin asked the two to help him remove the iron bricks, but Rung Jen flatly refused, not wanting to lose his life over it. That night when Feng Jai fell prey, Hyoling sought her sister to invite the spirit, only for Feng Jai to wake up and shout master in Japanese. When Hyoling asked who her master was, Feng Jai replied that her master had slain thousands in battle, her eyes already turning her into the monster's puppet. Seeing this, Lao Jin commented too, reminding them it didn't concern them, but removing the iron bricks could protect their future home, perhaps even restoring Feng Jai. While the doctor was dressing Feng Ji's wounds, Hyoling noticed the monster was walking towards her again, seemingly avoiding the glow of her tattoos. The three took advantage of this, covering themselves in scratches and throwing silverfish along the way as bait, plotting to lure it to the ancient tree. As long as Hyoling could stall the monster for 30 minutes, Lao Jin could successfully pull out the iron bricks and wash away the bad. At midnight, a giant hand burst from the ground, grabbing the silverfish, while Feng Jai began chewing uncontrollably. Ridiculous indeed. With the silverfish luring it in, the monster was finally drawn under the ancient tree, where Hyoling hid behind, pretending to be the true spirit, surprisingly managing to cap. This gave Lao Jin and Rung Jin enough time to dig iron bricks, but they couldn't hear or pull them out. As time trickled by, Hyoling finally showed a flaw. and the monster quickly zeroed in on her hiding spot, and it seemed she was about to be. Everyone, come subscribe to the channel and take an active part. Let's explore more fascinating and thrilling adventure stories together.